Hello again. Just getting a few things set up. This will be an interesting stream. I am currently waiting for a call. And so that means I may have to mute at some point to take that call. But this stream I'll remember right off to make a tweet about it. Let's see. Always have to manually type out the tweet. Twitch.tv/Molotov. Alright. Sometimes I'm fast enough to mute before I sneeze like I just did. Alright. Got my controller. Got everything ready to go. Last time I fixed the audio on the game. So hopefully it seems like a lot of people like my ASMR voice going all the time. I'm not anticipating that anyone will join, so I'm going to play single player unless someone joins and says they want to join. Then I can switch to co-op. And my voice is just out. Just give me a second. Yeah, I made myself a smoothie. Hopefully that'll help my voice a little bit. But yeah, waiting for a call, doing a quick stream. Have a few announcements for the stream. First, need to figure out what I'm doing. That should be sufficient. I think I marked what I was doing last time. That's right. Radioactive fossils. Question is, do I want to do all of them at once? 2 or 3 trips? Let's go check it out and do the factory trip first. So what we're gonna need is this turned off, get some gas, and then go this way all the way down. Alright. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so as I was saying, announcements. I mentioned Garen's Greed last time, the Japanese game that has some translation. Let me just check my audio again real quick. Yeah, it's a little high. Alright, it has some translation, but it is only available on emulator for about half the translation. And I have numerous ways of playing the game and a couple ways of streaming it, but I figure if I'm trying to showcase the English aspect, the mod, then it would be kind of nice to just do a brand new file or a brand new campaign showcasing all of the English that's currently translated. And yeah, that'll be more fun for a stream. I notice I'm still getting almost all of my YouTube channel traffic is from people searching the game and finding Garen's Greed and going to it. Like, no one cares about the other videos. It's about the rare game that I have on my channel. So I figure there's some room for people to be interested in that kind of content. Again, I don't care too much about growing my channel, but it's a game I like, and there's a demand for it. So I think I'll just make a video for that. At least one. I mean, a campaign takes a long time. I think I mentioned it was over 50 hours, maybe even 100, to complete all 6 phases of the Xeon campaign when I did it before. And that was all Japanese, so I didn't fully know what each of my decisions meant and what would happen. So this time I might have a guide pulled up or something, especially if some of it's not translated, to help me decide which side I'm on for each of the conflicts as time progresses. Most recently I did I think it was True Xeon or Legitimacy Xeon. That was a lot of fun. There's a lot of scenarios that are fun like that, so we'll see if I do like a standard one. I might want to do Federation. I believe the note said for translation they've only done Xeon so far. They're working on Federation because those are the 2 biggest campaigns. But yeah, so I don't know, that might dictate what I end up doing, but Federation is fun. I like playing on very easy because the difference is in how much resources you start with. That's pretty much it. And I think they give some bonuses to the enemy based on difficulty, but it's fun to start with lots of resources because it lets you experiment and do stupid stuff. When I first started playing, the stupid stuff was all unintentional. It was just mistakes on my part, misplays, not understanding what abilities the opponent had. Like the one that would kill me the most was the ability that prevents all beam weapon damage, and so I'd go in and attack with all my guys and do 0 damage, and then on their turn they would just, you know, kill half my units. So I learned that the hard way on very easy, and I was still able to win. But last time on my Legitimacy Xeon, I did a bunch of crazy stuff that I wish I had streamed because how fun it was and how silly it was. I made an army of transports. That was like half my army, and they haven't attacked, but they're transport units, so it was kind of silly. And then I did the other half was like long distance super laser units, and that was pretty much the backbone of my army. Very little else, and I just kept building more and more to see how far I could get away with it until they started having beam resistant units, so then I had to pivot to like melee units to fight them, which was interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get lost if I don't look at this carefully. We're gonna go this way. This is probably dangerous, but whatever. So we're just gonna follow this road all the way down. But yeah, anyway, Garen's Greed's fun. Expect it on the channel at some point. Next announcement is I made another year's progress in cataloging what games I've played for, I forget what it's called, like tierlist.com or whatever the most popular one is. You have to upload a folder of images for the images you're going to use for your different items in your tier list. And so that's my next step. I have a very specific set of games that I'm going to be discussing, all the ones I've played in the last few years, so there's not a pre-existing list I can use. So I have to go hunt down on like Google Image every image that I want and then crop it so that it's all the same shape and size. So that's going to take a few hours of work on top of just getting ready which games I'm going to talk about. So it's a ways off. I might finish that up by the end of this week or beginning of next week, ready for a stream of that. So that'll be a special stream discussing game reviews for a few hours. On top of that, I have over 100 games that I'm currently playing or have partially completed that I plan to complete. What's nice is HowLongToBeat.com has a feature where you can put games that you haven't actually completed, that you're partially completed, and then later just update to be completed. So I'll have to put all of those on there too, and I may briefly discuss them as well when I do my tier list. It's kind of a nice road. It's not giving me any trouble so far. What else? Those are the main announcements. Garen's Greed and tier list. Oh, this game. Third announcement. So I mentioned to someone when I was streaming last time that I have this game on PS4, and it's kind of tricky to stream PS4. So I have a PS4 Pro, and it does a pretty good job of streaming directly from the PS4. But the problem with that is the quality won't be quite as good, and I can't get a local recording. The way it works is a PS4 can only do one of three things. It can do, gosh, I forget what the PlayStation service is called, but it can stream to one of your devices. So a lot of times I'll use my phone as a screen and just play PS4 in bed. It's kind of nice. It can do that, or it can do a complete recording like my other YouTube videos, which were local recordings on the PS4. I just continuously record. After an hour, it would shut off, and I would turn it back on. And so I just spliced all those together or edited them for my Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima videos. So that's an option. It's just local record, but then it's not a stream. So it would just be a YouTube video. Third option is stream directly to Twitch from the PS4. And so you can only do one out of those three things. You can't do two or three of them at once. So what that would mean is, and fourth option would be do the first option, streaming to another device. I could stream to my computer and then make that output window the stream on my computer, which I could then local record and upload to Twitch. So, there's a safety net there. The only downside to that is streaming is mostly good, like streaming the video from the PS4. Both my computer and my PS4 are like directly Ethernet corded to the router, so that gives me an option. So it should be fast. Like, I never have too many problems doing the local stream thing to stream the video. As far as latency is concerned, I think the PS4 accommodates for that in some way, so that you don't get lag, because that would ruin a lot of games. That's a loud sound effect. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, what is that? That looks super sketch. We're definitely doing that just for fun. Yeah, usually I don't use this many markers, but I'll probably get lost while talking. Okay, so that's my other option, and I might want to try that. So I might have a test stream coming up soon in the next few days where I test out doing that. Now, you may be asking, well, you're already streaming Snowrunner, why stream the PS4? Well, it's a game that I could use as a test to see how well that streaming solution works for PS4 games in general. And if it works well, then I can stream some other PS4 games as I play them. Like I said, I play a lot of single-player games, so I might as well stream them at the same time. If I'm home alone, just playing a game, it makes it a little more social to stream it, talk to my friends. And then I have content for YouTube for anyone who cares. So that would be nice. Like, I'm in the middle of a Yakuza 4 playthrough. There's a bunch of games I got for free when I got PS Plus that I haven't played. Control is a game that is interesting, but I need to devote some time to paying attention to, so a stream could focus me on that. I hear that it's somehow related to Alan Wake, and that's why I got it. Well, I guess I got it with PS Plus, but I want to finish it before my PS Plus runs out next year, because Alan Wake and the sort of DLC sequel to Alan Wake were both amazing. A lot has changed in the years since that game came out, but it was a great game for its time. I'm not really sure where it fits on my tier list, but because some of the things may not hold up too well, but I love the story. It had me engaged throughout. The gameplay was inoffensive and okay action gameplay. So Control is like that, but with shooting. I mean, you have a gun in Alan Wake, but your flashlight slash gun mechanic, it works a bit differently for Control. Doing weird paranormal stuff though. Still, it's pretty fun. Like I'm a little like near the beginning of the game, so it'd be a good place to start streaming it. Wow, I'm just trucking along. I'm really liking this truck. I went on my PS4 and was playing yesterday, and I don't have this truck, I don't think, which is odd. I couldn't figure out why that was, because I'm loving this truck in this playthrough. There's a lot of weird things about my other playthrough, like several trucks I don't have unlocked yet. Several of the DLC trucks. So that's my goal on that playthrough, is at least get all the content unlocked and start exploring the new regions. They keep adding stuff to the old regions, but I'm nearly 100% on Michigan, the first region. Alaska is like 70%, and so I have a few things to do there. And then Taymyr, there's a lot to do. I mostly just got the trucks and pieced out. But yeah, that's kind of the state of things. So that playthrough would be the quickest to get to 100%. I mean, I'm thinking of it as my solo playthrough. And so this playthrough you're currently watching is more to play with my friends. And so I'm kind of just leveling up so that I have a good selection of trucks to do kind of whatever I want when I play with them. Yeah. I'm trying to think how much of an issue it might be if I stream to their servers. We haven't had too many disconnects whenever I play this game multiplayer, but it does happen sometimes, and that's kind of a pain for streaming if I disconnect and have to deal with connection issues. Whereas if someone else disconnected from me, I can still play and stream the game without having to worry about it as they try to fix their connection. So for the time being, I think I'll still prefer playing on my own server whenever I stream. But we'll see. You know, it can be fun to do their missions too. So I don't want to withhold doing that. Also, it encourages them to actually play the game more, so I can play with them so they don't get bored of it. But yeah, this game's coming to Switch, which is amazing. Let's see, while I was thinking of all these systems and streaming options, I guess I don't have a capture card for HDMI. I do have one for composite, so that means if I really wanted to, I can play GameCube and PS2 streaming, and that's something I've tested out and it works fairly well. So I might showcase that. There are some games that don't emulate nearly at all, or are just terrible emulated, that I can show off with real hardware, and that will be cool. It's nice to get the real experience, and I have all the consoles just sitting in my room ready to be played. Okay, I think you have to do this. Maybe not. Okay. I don't think I got the achievement where you mess with these statues, but I found one of them. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go back, do this the old-fashioned way, and as in, well, is there a trailer store around here? I have to go back up there. Yeah, maybe I will, because I can get gas, get a trailer. I only need a 2-slot trailer, and I can just keep this. I usually prefer to do a low saddle with a 4 or 5 slot trailer. It's a lot more stable than having a, what do you call it, a trailer hitch instead of a saddle. So trailer hitch trailers tend to just flip all over the place and are kind of sketchy, but I'm going to try that. It's convenient for the situation. Need to make sure I make the right turn so I don't miss it. So yeah, we're going to have this knocked out in less than an hour. Let's see, we're already 20 minutes in. but I was thinking it'd be good to focus on unlocking more content and then go back later and do all the remaining missions. So with this level, I did the seismograph thing last time because that's required to unlock the next area. So this is not a required one, but after I do this one, I'll start looking at what is. Pumpkins, I can go smash those if I want. Alright, what else? I think that's it for announcements. A lot's been going on in my head the last few days. What to do with the stream. I also have lots of work to be doing, and this game kind of relaxes me and gets me back in the mood for work. So it's very therapeutic that way. Some of my friends are getting back into streaming, and that's exciting. It's a fun social thing to do when you're a single person like us, just living alone, needs some way of socializing during a pandemic. And even after, it's convenient. You know, a lot of my friends are really spread out in how far away they live, so even if they're in my area, technically, it's a big event to have an activity together because we have to drive. One or both of us have to drive pretty far. So having a stream makes it super convenient to cut all that travel time out. Okay. Yeah, these stumps are dangerous. I need to not run over them. Easy to get stuck. I hit a milestone yesterday on my other file. I managed to flip the TUZ whatever number, which is the personnel carrier I always talk about, the tank. I flipped it a couple times in one go. I fell off a bridge and flipped a bunch of times. I landed on the tires and I'm like, oh, that's great. And then like 5 minutes later I flipped it over onto its top and I couldn't fix it. So I don't think it has a what would you call it, a autonomous winch. At the very least, I didn't have it equipped if it is possible. I guess I'm going back down this way. Alright, get some gas. On the Magic the Gathering fronts, I still play a few matches every day. Getting more used to what's going on in the current meta environment of Standard. Pretty fun. It's amazing technology to be able to play Magic the Gathering with people from around the world from my phone at any time. Very convenient. And at least it's a free-to-play format, even if it is pretty pay-to-win in a lot of ways. One funny quirk that I've noticed about the game is that it tries to match you with people that have a similar number of rare cards in their deck. So if you're running a deck list that's very cheap and common, then it'll match you with other people with similar decks. And if you're running a particularly weak kind of deck that isn't meta, but it has lots of rares in it, you're going to be fighting all of the hardest decks that are currently out there. It thinks your deck power is higher than it really is. It matches you with people with way better decks. But there's a fun thing you can do with that is, I'm a fairly skilled player, playing for 25 years, so I can make a cheap deck that's really dumb if I want, and I'll play other people who are doing the same thing, or who are unskilled. It still blows me away that their algorithm works like that. Because they do have rankings and MMR, hidden type of skill rankings and stuff, but none of that matters as much, it seems, as deck strength as a matchmaking indicator. Anyway. see someone joined as a viewer, so I'm just doing some radioactive stuff, then more missions to unlock the rest of the map. And this mission has been fun so far. Driving through the eerie, deserted camp with radioactive material all in it is very cool as a mission. And I'm loving this truck. This thing can go through anything with its mud tires. It's very stable. I don't think I've flipped this truck yet, which is a rare honor. As I said, I flipped the Tuz personnel carrier the other day, so that one is no longer unflippable, but this one has the honor for now. Yeah, the stream was good because I did want to make all those announcements I made earlier, so anyone who joins later can just go back and watch the first 20 minutes where I make the announcements. What's going on in the next few weeks. I wonder if anyone would ever come up with a competitive way to play this game. Like, I don't know, maybe have 2 teams of co-op, 4 players each, and whoever completes all the contracts on the first map, wins or something. Start from a new file. That might be fun. Yeah, the person who's gonna call me is a little busy at the moment, so I'll have more time to stream. Again, I'll just keep playing if they do call, but you'll have a lot of silence. Just listen to the game audio instead of my voice, which is fine. Alright, should I go the south way? The lame thing about these maps is they don't show where the walls are, so I'm just going to go around the right way because I know that way goes through. Actually, wait, there's a gap right here. Well, let's try to use this gap, see if it's worth it. A bunch of stuff in the way, just gotta be a little careful. Don't want to get stuck. Oh, okay, so you can just drive through these. Good to know. Yeah, see, stuff like that could kill me, so I gotta be careful. A random physics object. Yeah, this is a little bit sketchy. But this truck is doing fine. I'll just put it in low gear. Make sure I can get through anything. The hard part is remembering to take it out of low gear. I always leave stuff in low gear forever. It's about the same speed as auto first gear. Okay, that just looks really stupid. I don't know why they added that the way it is. You see all those little lights? Those are supposed to be animal eyes. But they kind of just plaster them in a way that looks super fake, since you can clearly see there's no animals, right? No hiding spots right there. Alright. Wow, that's a long way back. Looks like we're going the usual route, back up to the gas station. Glad I got that last time. Alright, so we're going here to here to here, and then all the way up to here. Interesting spot for a, what do you call it, load point, just in the middle of all of this junk. I wonder how heavy these are. I might want to unload them or unpack them. might help. If you remember, unpacked cargo weighs less for almost every cargo, so you can kind of cheat the game a little bit by unpacking. It's a little risky, so it seems fair to me, risk versus reward, because now they can fall out a lot easier. I'm a little worried about flipping just enough of an angle that these fall out. I mean, they're square and heavy, but still, you get a little bit extra security by keeping them packed. One thing new players have a problem with this game is that it takes a while to tune your steering to something that's worthwhile, and then getting used to whatever setting you have it set to, because in a lot of ways it feels like steering is way too sensitive, but you just have to get used to it. Like, I'm using a controller, and you just have to not go full tilt unless you really want to turn as sharp as possible. So I'm staring at my front tire right now and doing micro adjustments, but it's very easy to go too far and then have to correct for the opposite direction. That's a good looking truck. It's just so solidly built with these big beefy tires. Alright, so let's see how this is going to go. We're going to cut through this bog here. Okay. Just dead stopped. I don't know. Oh, I'm in low gear? Okay. Let me... Yeah, that's some deep mud. Yeah, let's go to the far side. That might help. And I am on single player, so I could move the time to be later, but I think I'll enjoy the night for a little bit longer. It is kind of annoying to have nighttime because you just can't see where you're going as easily. It's just a bit of extra challenge that I don't particularly enjoy most of the time. I like the way the daylight looks and the sunrise and sunset, but middle of the night on this map, at least, isn't very fun. Last time we got to see a nice vista of the valley from the mountainside, and it looked pretty cool at night, but it would look even better during the day. The funny thing about MudRunner is the way lights worked. So if you turned off all of your headlights, then the game would like adjust as if your eyes were adjusting to the darkness. So most of the time I would just never use my headlights because it looked better. Like, you got nice flat, even lighting on everything as if the moon was out. But if you turn your lights on, then it's only lit in front of you, and then it contrasts by making everything else behind you in shadow that's extra dark. And so you could only see in front of you. So I'd rather see everything, even if it's a little bit muted. So I would just drive with my lights off. This game doesn't seem to do that. Like, if I turn that off, it looks the same, like staring at the dark portion. Yeah, it doesn't change at all, it doesn't adjust. So you might as well have your lights on in this game. I was just taking a drink while also holding down the accelerators. That was a little bit dicey. I figure anytime I get stuck or have a moment, I should probably try to finish off this smoothie I'm drinking. I was just thinking about how there's that I don't have a webcam. I don't plan on getting one. I don't think it helps my stream any. But how most of the people I watch on Twitch also don't use webcams. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think people that are inherently entertaining in their personality, in the way they make their content is far more important than what they look like. And the people that are most successful that don't have a webcam are among my favorite streamers. And it really shows a difference. People that rely on looks and reactions versus ones that are entertaining in other ways. I don't think I mentioned though, content's the other big thing for streams I like. So many streamers I watch are not a single game or competitive streamers, they're more variety streamers who are funny or have interesting things to showcase, like historian kind of stuff, or otherwise have really good critical opinions, so they play every new game and they're practically a journalist at that point, able to give detailed reviews as they play. And that's pretty much how I play games, is I try to have the best experience I can for whatever goal I'm shooting for, and most of the time that leaves room for fun and messing with the game until it breaks, finding glitches. That's another reason why I like fitting into the speedrunning community, is they love glitches that make them go faster, and I love finding glitches, so it's kind of a natural cohesion there. Even though I'm not a competitive person, I don't really care to own any world records, I do like helping out their community when I can by trying to find glitches. And I say their community as if it's a single community. Every game has its own community for speedrunning. But generally, speed running as a sport or a pastime tends to follow the same general patterns, and there's a lot of overlap. So people that like watching speedrunning content usually will watch a lot of different games, not just one single game. Although people that play do speedrunning will stick to one game, depending on how competitive it is, and if they're in a lot of less competitive games, it makes sense to do more than one. Which reminds me, that's another thing coming up on this channel. I have it in my bio, but I haven't done it in a while, is some speedruns. I tend toward the shorter speedruns, not like super short, but medium to short length, stuff that's not too taxing on me. I've yet to upload or record any Link's Awakening speedruns because I'm not very good at them. You know, it takes a lot of practice. There's people I admire who tend to hold the records in that, so I'm not really competing with them. It's just a fun thing to do. Other games, though, I am willing to compete because there's not a lot of competition and they're pretty chill. Like Yu-Gi-Oh games rely a lot on randomness and luck in addition to skill, and so it's easy for anyone who's willing to try could potentially get a world record. It's not purely skill, so the people that spend the most time tend to get it, but that's because they have more runs, and so their chance of luck is higher. So those might take me a little bit longer to get to. I have to be in the right mood for speedrunning, and it takes more concentration. I've been getting used to streaming generally first, playing this game that takes very little concentration, and doing a speedrun, you know, it's harder to have commentary when I'm focused on doing the right actions. But, you know, when I take a casual approach to it, especially with like Link's Awakening, I play that game dozens of times, and even if it messes me up to stream while doing it, I'm not really competitive in it anyway. So that should be fine. Especially as I'm learning the routes for speedrunning, since there's been a lot of changes since I last tried. I saw someone do a speedrun of it recently for the remaster. Remaster has a lot more glitches allowed than the older games in most categories, and so you can do some crazy stuff. Categories are a whole big other can of worms that I have trouble with, especially with Link's Awakening, where the community decides this is what we're going to allow and what everyone should agree to do and what's allowed and what's not allowed. And I tend to disagree with those a lot for what I would want to do myself. And so I'm competing against no one when I do it the way I like, which is fine. But, you know, it might be worth the effort to learn their categories and their exploits. They don't consider some of them glitches. They consider it exploit. And what that means is a glitch that's allowed in a lot of ways. Maybe I'm stating that wrong, but allowed glitches versus not allowed glitches is a very arbitrary thing in speedruns that communities come up with for rules. And here we are. Alright, seems person may call me anytime now, but here's my plan. Like I said, I'm going to try to unlock the next area. And this is the mission to do it. Access to gateway, so this will probably be the rest of the stream. It's just doing this one mission. Metal beams, service. Okay, so I need 6 spaces. I need to go. Yeah, I need to see what's going on here. I'm like trying to think. Okay, it's in the map. I need to see what things come from which place. Oh, they're from each place. Okay, so this is cargo service. So I should probably do that first with a big long thing. And then metal beams is from warehouse. Yeah. Okay, so there's no point going to the factory. This will be straightforward. So what I'm going to do is... Actually, I should just use this right now, because I have 4 slots, and then I can ditch the trailer when I go get the metal beams, so make it easier. So, service, and then cargo. Oh, wrong thing. There. Sorry about that. Wasted cargo. Good thing this isn't hardcore, that would cost money or something. There we go. Okay. We are good to go. But yeah, so I should get a call any minute now. You'll just watch me drive through the night, unlocking this new area. But at least now I'll know for the future. You gotta do the seismograph thing, and then you gotta do this mission. And then you can go to the next area and get the Tuz, which is my next goal, is get that cool personnel carrier. Vegas at night, you see the stars and the moon. I was playing on PS4 and noticing the difference in graphical quality. There's a subtle but distinct difference even on PS4 Pro compared to my computer. And in my mind, the two graphics cards aren't too different. But I bought a mid-range graphics card like a couple years ago. So it was a new mid-range card with 8 gigs of RAM. And I guess PS4 Pro isn't as good as that. Not as well optimized maybe, to where I'm not sure what you gain for the Pro versus base PS4 on this game. It's possible they just didn't optimize for Pro, other than maybe resolution. Look at that floating stick. And it's not even gonna fall. Good thing I checked that. Check the map before overshooting my turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna go daytime now. I forget how often it snows or rains in this game. It's like every few days. Third day or something. This isn't too hard. I'm trying to think, like, we could knock this out one stream doing co-op on one of my friend's servers so that they can get the TUS. Do all 3 missions in one day. Though I can't remember how hard the next area is. I think I just took a scout with repair points or something all the way out to the TUS and just repaired it. You just get it. So you don't even need to build bridges or anything. I wonder how many people are going to play hardcore mode when it officially releases in a few weeks. It's certainly going to upset a lot of people. There'll be lots of Reddit threads about how it's not fun. Giving all the suggestions that this company has been receiving for years from Mudrunner for how to fix it, and they probably won't listen. But that's their prerogative, they make the game. I need to go to low gear. Really struggling up this hill. It's amazing how well this trailer has been not flipping, so I partially give credit to the stability of this truck. This thing is a beast. It doesn't need I think that's the trade-off, is I don't think this can have a crane at all. And most of the other trucks can that are about this size. But man, is this workhorse of a truck. The Taiga. Well known for its tiger stripe vinyl wrap. One thing I thought was cool was the other DLC truck had, you could color and paint the service trailer, which was cool. I mean, I like the idea that you could paint more than just the truck body. Like, for example, a requested feature for a long time since this game came out was being able to paint sideboard beds. Because it's kind of, I mean, it's nice to at a glance go, oh, it's blue, it has a sideboard bed, but it would be more stylish if you could paint it whatever you wanted. Alright. gotta figure out the fastest way to get back to... let's just go... I don't like that part of the road, so we're gonna go this way. And it's hard to see where this turnoff is because it's at a curve, so we're gonna go like that. Then straight down the mountain. Then... oh, that's weird. Might just cut through to the warehouse. Alright. Okay, just checking, making sure this person hasn't called me in. They said they call in 20 minutes, about half an hour ago. Oh boy. These trailers. I'll never hear the squeaky brake sound. Never hit my brakes in this game. But going downhill, sometimes you have to. Oh, so much going on in the world today. Good dish to take a deep breath and relax. That must be pretty hard to drive uphill that route section. Now, if you remember last time, I survived this, no problem. I think I was using the same truck, so we shall see if it's as easy this time. Ooh. Yeah, a little bit sketchy. I can always ditch the trailer since that's the plan anyway. Is there even a trailer store over here? Nope. So yeah, I'm just gonna ditch the trailer at the factory. And I think I have enough fuel to just come right back. No problem. Don't have to worry about refueling. I guess we'll check once I get there. I'll probably be down to half fuel by then. Alright. Since I'm not going to hit that marker, might as well delete it. I was looking at my PS4 file and I have like a dozen empty trailers on every map. It's pretty bad. But hey, I have enough money to deal with it. On hardcore I wouldn't, but hardcore's not out yet, so I have like $500,000 in the bank on that file and something like 15 trucks. So I'm not short on money. Alright, ditch this somewhere. Yeah, I got plenty of fuel. I might just end the stream once I get my phone call, if it's timed well enough. Because this was my main focus. I mean, I want to get the Tuz at some point, but might just leave this as a short hour-long stream. Or I'll get the Tuz. We shall see. think I'm just gonna drive up the way I came. We'll see how that goes. Oh, this is a little sketchy. I don't want to go in that ditch. Streaming has made me realize how often I say the word sketchy. Not the most descriptive way to say something is unsafe or uncertain, but it's in my vocabulary. So there you go. Okay, I thought that was it for a second, but now it's over here. Much flatter. Okay, just had to switch to first gear. Hey, this may be a record. I've had no dropped frames this stream. And it usually takes about an hour in is when I guess my internet provider or something starts throttling me. It's quite possible. I don't like my internet provider, so I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that. I mean, I'm already on a data cap for my home internet, which is insane, since it's completely unnecessary on their part. Okay, I'm gonna take this a little bit slower. Forgot this is the route section. Uh-oh. Don't want to get stuck on a route. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not looking good. Try to crisscross the road so I'm not driving straight on, getting stuck on something. There we go. Okay, out of the woods. Alright. This may be a good time just to stop and focus on the other stuff I was supposed to do today, including this call, since this would still be distracting if I'm on a call while playing a game. So, alright. I thought I was already rank 15, but thanks anyway. Yeah, that's weird. Didn't I reach rank 15 last time? Huh. Bizarre. Must have remembered wrong. Oh yeah, I was close to rank 15 was the thing. Huh. Alright, well. I'll set a marker. Hopefully that'll stay. Maybe pick which thing I want to do in the next area. Sure, why not? Let's cover, store, and quit. Alright, thanks for coming to the stream. I know it was a short one. Hope you enjoyed it and all the announcements I made. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.